Hi, and welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 9th of October 2020. First off, thank you so much for your comments and the encouraging comments from yesterday's Market Alert about the World Economic Forum. It's the most comments I've actually received, so it's obviously touching a nerve with a lot of us wondering what the hell's going on because nothing stacks up. That doesn't mean to say that we don't think the virus is real, of course. But the handling and the hidden agenda is the most disturbing thing that is coming to light. And again, in this second half, or just at the end, I've got some more information for you, and then I'm going to leave it there unless there's something that comes up in the future. Just laying the ground really to make people aware of what's going on. And it's not just me that's seeing this, and yourselves, obviously, from the comments that were received yesterday as well. So thank you so much for this, because it means an awful lot. And that's just not an idle comment, because I thought I was going mad being able to see what's going on and not being able to communicate this, because obviously, you get labelled as a conspiracy theorist. Not that that bothers me. I couldn't give a flying Pope about that, frankly. But it's just comforting to know that it's not just me. Anyway, let's have a look and see how the markets are being rigged, manipulated and pumped to the upside for the coming US election. And we can see yesterday's stocks, bonds, Bitcoin, gold, oil pop despite stimulus slop, i.e. there is no stimulus at the moment. As we know, Trump dropped this the other day, much to the chagrin of Pelosi. You get nothing, love, is what he was basically saying. So let's have a look at yesterday. There was a lot going on, and let's start in the morning. You can see again how the market comes off the high, the 200 bar moving average, and also the close. The futures market opens and the DAX moves to the upside. No surprise there. So let's fast forward through. I'm going to go quite quickly through this because obviously yesterday morning we had Old Bailey talking about what he's going to do during the pandemic. I'll come to that in just a second. We'll just get to this. But you'll see the market there picking up immediately. Very similar. This bar is very similar to the bar that opened on Wednesday. The market rallied up to the R1 on Wednesday. It was the high, then came off. As you'll see there, stopping at the 5 bar moving average. Then the buying came in and moved the market higher. We've got selling pressure. They tried to move the market higher with buying, but again, you'll see how both of these bars came off the high before they closed and then confirmed with the selling that we see here, the weakness coming in there. So there were no signals until Bailey spoke, and he spoke for an hour. As I said before, it's not wise to actually trade during a central banker's speech, and he's in full flow at this point. So what did he say? Let me just show you this. This is horrifying as well. Where are we? Bank of England. Bank of England will be aggressive on second wave, says Governor Andrew Bailey. Take note of this here. Second wave. Well, I thought I'll just get another opinion of what happened yesterday. And guess what? As we read through it, it says Bank of England not out of firepower. No, they'll turn rates negative and they'll keep printing. But as we go through here, you can see that he's talking about future waves. So not just the one there, but there was one where he spoke of, here it is. Yeah, unbelievable. It says, we are by no means out of firepower. In terms of our policy tools, we will use that firepower as appropriate, properly and strongly in response to second, get this, third waves, where we think it is necessary. And of course, the Bank of England are still part of the World Economic Forum. They're all inextricably linked. So there seems to be no end to this crap, using a virus that has a recovery rate of 99.9% in order to bring around the World Economic Forum agenda there. But I'll come to that a bit later. But I thought, wow, here we go. So we're being primed already by the central banks for a third wave of this crap. Anyway, let's go back to the markets, and you can see that the market traded sideways, and then eventually when the market realised that he's going to continue to print money, go negative, the market moved lower throughout the morning, finding support there at the previous day's high and closes, which is where we started off in the futures market at 7 a.m. So let's move all the way through. We've got the mid-morning trading there. Prices remain in a bit of a range, and then we get to the unemployment for the US, another 840,000 applying first-time initial jobs claim. And then we get into the afternoon session where prices have recovered. Coming off the 200 MA, you can see there it's been supported. There you go, just see the bar there. Again, that nice bar, how they come off the lows and off the BRN and at the 200 MA, and then moving higher. And this is before we have the news. The news is not greeted too well, but then you see them cover the position, buy, and reverse the market back to the upside. Now, there were no signals in the afternoon. The market was already green in the MDI. Prices tried to move lower. And again, you can see how if prices come off the low of the bar and the volume is greater than the previous bar, then we know that we have some buying in that bar. There has to be, because otherwise it would have continued lower had it have been all selling. So then we get some selling here, which we can see, and then the market comes back down to the BRN. And then once again, prices start to move back to the upside as we see an 89% retracement from here to here. Prices continue to the upside because they want the market on the upside, but it's a slow grind, as you can see. The market doing exactly what it did on Wednesday as it comes back down to the 20 bar moving average. On these occasions, you can see once it closes back, prices move to the upside until we actually break this at just after 3:30 in the afternoon, and then prices remaining sideways. So let's see where we are overnight. To start with the bigger picture, we've traded up to the 78% retracement, or just about on the overnight there. So we're back below the high, which we can see here. So we've got resistance at the 78% area. The market was above the 200 bar MA and was close to the high. You can see the 200 and the DP level there. It was above, just trading to the high initially, and then you can see at the moment, so we're nowhere near. We're actually back below the 200 MA, breaking here, and it's now become a resistance here. And prices need to hold at the DP level to have a chance of going back above the high that we see in the daily chart there. So let's have a quick look at the Dow. This also at the 78% retracement, struggling there as well at the moment. So again, both the Dow and the DAX at those areas of resistance. So have a look at the implied volatility. This has dropped down nicely actually from a high a few days ago at 26.85 down to 23.96, just sitting on the 20 bar moving average there. So still a bit of a weakness in the implied volatility, and still amber, but looking to go towards the green level, breaking down below the 20 bar moving average. We're above the 20 bar moving average in the daily chart, which we've just seen, which you can see there with the green bar in the MDI there. So yeah, the Dow showing a bit of support there as well, and also supported by the implied volatility. Like I say, I wouldn't be surprised. They want this market up. They have done for a very long time, last 12 years to be precise, and will continue to do so. There's no news today, absolutely no news, so the market's got to make its own direction. So anything can happen going through today's session. Now, just to finish off again with the World Economic Forum and their sinister agenda. There's a few things. First, if you've not seen this, and I may have mentioned this, the trouble is I've spoken to so many people of late and recommended they see this video. A couple of weeks ago, there was a demonstration. I don't like the word protest because it wasn't a protest, it was a demonstration. And this gentleman here, Dr. Heike Schoening, is a medical doctor. And in this video, which I'm going to put the links in the email, I'll put them in below the video, in the description on the YouTube video. He talks about the World Economic Forum. He's got over 1,000 medical doctors together. He said it is a political pandemic, not a medical pandemic. And I say over 1,000 medical doctors who are all with him on this one, because the data doesn't stack up for what the propaganda that's being spewed out by the mainstream media and the government in particular. And of course, as soon as he mentioned the World Economic Forum in this video, I mean, it just heartened me when I saw it a couple of weeks ago. I thought, it's not just me. Again, as I said at the beginning of this recording, it's so comforting to know. And I mean, this is an eminent doctor, and also over 1,000 other doctors who are on board with him. It's probably more than that now. And they have a rally in Berlin, which has already got over 1 million supporters at the last one on I think it's tomorrow actually. It's the 10th 20 in Berlin, where they're expecting 1.2 million Germans to come out and support and say we've had enough of this nonsense. It's not what it appears to be. Anyway, shortly after making these comments about the World Economic Forum on Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park, he was arrested and taken to a local police station, where he was held for 27 hours, then released without charge, but had a book that he's written about the COVID, the real truth about COVID, confiscated. His phone was confiscated, and also his laptop. And again, have a look at this as well. And of course, it's not just Dr. Heiko Schoening. It's also here you can see this is called the Great Barrington Declaration, and this is what I can't get my head around, right? You know, if we're living in a democracy, why is it there are so many medical professionals, epidemiologists, virologists, who have, you know, professors and professor emeritus in their own field? These are world-class experts and Nobel Prize winners as well, and they are not being listened to. It makes no sense. If you've got something like this, if it was, you know, this pandemic and this virus, you would listen to these world-renowned experts, and they are all being just sidelined. And the only narrative that is acceptable is that that's coming from the government, from two scientists. It makes no sense at all. What happened to peer reviewing and also the discussion of science? I thought science was where people exchanged ideas and then came to a conclusion. So this appears to not be the case, and that's why there is something sinister, in my opinion, going on here. And it's not just my opinion anymore. As you can see here, as we scroll down, you can see that there are medical and public health scientists, 5,000 now, medical practitioners, 10,600, and the general public. And I would encourage anybody to actually sign this as well. We've got to do something to stop this nonsense where we're seeing freedoms just wiped away on the pretext of, like I say, a virus that you have to have a test for to see whether you've got it or had it. It just makes no sense until, of course, you latch on the World Economic Forum and the resetting of the financial system, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I wrote about it in 2011. I've monitored this for the last 10, 12 years. That I get, but it's this other aspect that they are using in order to remove freedoms and create what appears to be a very, very sinister way that we will have to live by, proving that we haven't got COVID to travel and all the rest of it. This makes no sense at all, but it's being used by the shall we say the ruling elite, if there is such a thing, but this just seems very, very odd. So there you go. But this is the last time I'm going to mention this until I get more further information. But this is the background to all of this, and like I say, you should have a look at these 3 videos with Dr. Heiko Schoening, because we're not a lone voice anymore as far as this is concerned. Okay, that will do it for this one. As we head into the weekend, let's see what volatility we get during today with no news Friday, which is unusual, but outside of all of this is just to remain positive and optimistic, and that we could make a difference. Okay, that's it. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.